this to get into a share of the lead. No problems. All in her stride. Third birdie of the day for Anna. Up ahead to the last, and Emily Pedersen. Yeah, that's pretty well done. There'll be a look at birdie coming up. There's confirmation of Nordqvist's place in a share of the lead. Sofia Popov done for the day after a round of 70. Amy Olsen and Danny Holmqvist still through the relatively early stages of their opening round. Grey skies, wind still a factor. Let's get out and join up with Inami at 14.
A bit fiery. We can see how much the wind's affecting it.
How different is it today from when you played the practice day? Totally different wind.
Different golf course. I mean, you may just as well have not had a practice round, in all honesty. It didn't help you in one bit, apart from it got you thinking some holes were easy and some obviously were very difficult, and it was the opposite.
Last year's Rookie of the Year on the Japan Tour now. Kang, she keeps giving herself work to do. More here.
She's not hitting many greens today. She's not making the game easy at all.
She's played that very well, but that's still a tricky one. That's not easy to hole.
Windy Park in the sand.
They're not too bad, these bunkers, actually. The ones near the green, they're not as severe as I thought they would be. You've got to get unlucky not to have a shot, haven't you?
Yeah, they are. They're nice. There's a good amount of sand in, enough where you can hit a shot if you need to, and if you can get a little upslope, they're not easy, but they're very playable.
Yards to the flag, wind's virtually straight behind, real flying lie. Got tangled up. That's what you call a flyer, that one.
So we've had one round of 70. It's come from Sofia Popov. Well, she's won a British amateur. She'd love the Women's Open to go alongside that. Of course, Georgia Hall managed that double.
Yeah, cheeky double that. Very nice, especially on this course. Add this to your resume as a winner. There's some great champions over the years at this course.
Well, excellent round of golf. A couple of birdies, a couple of bogeys. Job done.
Buhai got a bit of an upslope of a lie. Ball lie okay. Slightly stubbly grass, and down this hollow she'll just get a glimpse of the top of the flag. The play here is to land it about a third on the green, no more. If you go over the back of the green, there's a big deep hollow with some horrible area where people have practiced from. Stubbly grass, divots. It's a shot. The best miss is a little short on line. Anywhere else you miss this green's tricky.
Yeah. That should turn into the 50 club on that slope. All right.
How far she got in, Ken?
132. That's what makes the game so interesting. I mean, it's where are you going to land it? How's the ball going to come out the line? How much the wind going to affect it? Where's my best miss if I don't get it just right? If I get it wrong, I don't want to go over the back. It teases with your brain the whole time.
Somewhere.
Yeah, her reaction was it had just gone left, and that's, if it's in some of that really heavy lush stuff, that's going to be a very difficult up and down.
320-yard drive, just 92 left for Shibuno. What were your tactics on this back nine, Laura? Were you all out with the drive, or did you poke a few irons down some of these fairways?
Well, this particular hole, I decided, I was in shock. I was 12 over at this point, and I decided I did a 2-iron, but I left myself a 4-iron in here, which wasn't all that clever, but I managed to birdie the hole, which was nice. But after that, I thought, what are you thinking? And I just hit my driver, and it worked a lot better. Now we've got a par chance here. Not much in this. If she pulled it, or the wind maybe. It's definitely affecting putts.
It's amazing how many 4, 5, 6 footers we've seen missed today, just dying. Maybe just because the pace of the greens is just not what the players are expecting. They look like they're in, and then they just die at the end.
And another shot gone for Danielle Kang. You can't win it on Thursday, but you can play yourself out of it. She needs to have a good finish to this opening round. Well, teenager from America, Yaeli Minot, has joined the group at 1 under par. It's getting a little bigger, isn't it? 70, the best score of the day. After 10 straight pars, it was a bogey at 11 for Kawamoto. Gabby Lopez, one of those who has had to miss a few events after a positive COVID test. There's Georgia Hall, 73. Very different to one of her playing partners out there today, Nelly Corder. She's expected to be similar tomorrow, so maybe around 8 over.
I think 8's pretty much, yeah. Well, the morning is supposed to be worse than it is now. It's supposed to be the wind, but throwing in some pretty heavy rain, so it could go to 9, but I think 8's a good shout.
You'd be disappointed if it isn't, won't you now, Laura?
Yeah, I hope it's horrible.
What time are you off?
Well, 11:10, so I'm going to catch the end of it, but I don't mind that.
Sunshine now. Anna Norquist just off the green here at 12.
She just goes about her business, doesn't she? Very. Let's get back to level par, which was a tremendous score today. She's a tremendous putter, Marina Alex, I have to say. One of the best.
Yeah, very good. Very solid. Has a lot of good finishes. Now, Henderson needs this par putt to drop. Oh, a little bit of a shove. 6 over.
It's really easy to just be tentative, isn't it? Just the wind's blowing a gale, you don't want to sort of give it too much, and it feels like a lot of the players just aren't really staying down on it and hitting it hard enough.
Lindsay Weaver to try and shoot sub-par, not going to quite get there. Only had her first top 10 on the LPGA Tour a couple of weeks ago. Player who spent much of 2018 out with a back injury. It's a very good performance from the American.
That was better, Trish. Right through at the hole.
hit that in with a lot of confidence, didn't she? A lot of pace. It's nice to see. She's a fabulous golfer to watch, I have to say. She's very entertaining, even in these conditions.
Yeah, she's a joy to watch. It's just a shame we can't see the interaction with the fans this year that she obviously feeds off, as we saw at Woburn.
Yeah, she set Woburn alight, didn't she? The galleries. I've never seen a gallery go for someone that's not a home player like they did for her, and the roar on 18 was quite something.
Inby Park with 1-4-1 to the pin. Pins on 25, tucked back, very flat green in this gully. Tucked back in the left-hand portion. And she is a little bit further behind both Inami and Lexi.
Iona, how's Inby been playing?
Well, her rhythm is spectacular to watch. She's struggling to control the ball when it lands on the green. A lot of her approach shots have been running through the green, and she's ended up having to battle for her par rather than some of the players that really lean into those approach shots and try to get some spin on the green.
Straight down, it could be a touch from the left.
Obviously felt something in her hand there.
Right dead at.
Inami.
Come on, Meg.
Shibuno now. Par 4, 178 today. Down across. Land it on that front portion and hope you don't get a big bounce. Oh, that's flown way too far. Tricky up and
I
down.
think it's like 30.
Arson was telling us earlier that she's double jointed. It's pretty weird, isn't it? Not many golfers to the pound of that.
Well, that's a tricky one then. 30-yard bunker shot. Nobody likes them.
Does that mean you don't like those?
I love them, but a lot of people don't like them.
At the end of last year, Lindsay Weaver was contemplating a job in finance. Her mum said give it one more go. And here she is, equaling the second best score of the day at the AIG Women's Open. She says she's in a whatever place. 2 birdies in the last 3 holes. It might not be whatever comes Sunday if she carries on like that.
Yeah, well, sometimes the pressure's off. You take the pressure off yourself and all of a sudden it clicks into place. So she could be dangerous. Now, Danielle Kang needs something good to happen. That looks like a little as an 8 iron. She was shouting for a tap in there, but she's obviously not happy with her putting at all today. Still smiling though, fair play.
It's nice to see all the smiles out there. Shibuno and Kang, and saw it a little earlier from Area Jatanagarn as well. Hard to smile sometimes, given where the ball's going.
You could say that. Right now, Ash, she needs something. 5 over, she's drifted to.
Kang, and saw it a little earlier from Area Jatanagarn as well. Hard to smile sometimes, given where the ball's going.
You could say that. Right now, Ash, she needs something. 5 over, she's drifted to. Yep, that's where you need to land it. Look at that, release back nice. Chance to get back to +4.
Well, we've got a bunch of players at 1 under par. Anna Norquist.
Back out to the golf course we go. Buhai at 14. And a birdie to get back to 4 over.
Yeah, it can knock your confidence, because that's obviously at the highest level, and if you don't do well, it really does knock you out.
Yeah, lost in the singles at Des Moines to this lady.
I think The interesting thing listening to Emily there is how much she has changed. It's almost like a changed personality. If you knew how fiery she used to be and how she get down on herself, that's an incredible interview to listen to. Well done to her. And Norquist, downwind, just a little 8-iron. Absolute beauty that is.
She's playing very well. And when she plays well, she normally does well, so look out for Anna on the weekend, maybe.
She's got great balance, hasn't she? Blowing a gale out there, but really low hands at address, which is unusual. Don't see too many players like that. A bit sort of Keegan Bradley-like. What club's this, Laura, on 17?
I imagine it's an 8 or a little 7. If it's 7, it needs to land softish. Yeah, I'd say that's just going to run to the back, but that's not a bad shot. It's that wind is really howling down 17 now. I'm glad they moved that tee up, because if it was a back tee downwind, it'd be so hard to keep one on this green.
Just in a little bit of a divoty lie there, which actually could work to her favour. She's got a little bit more spin than she might have downwind. Good shot. Just in a little bit of a divoty lie there, which actually could work to her favour. She's got a little bit more spin than she might have downwind.
Well, Anna Norquist dropped outside of the top 100 in the world rankings for the very first time since she's been in it when she turned. So whatever Sean's saying or doing, it seems to be working.
Definitely working.
What's going on here, Iona?
Well, Inbee Park's very frustrated with herself because she went in the burn off the tee. Real strategic mistake. Lexi Thompson opted for the driver, hit a bit of a monster, and she's got 211 left to the pin, but unfortunately it's out of position in an awkward lie. It's on this kind of down slope, ball below her feet, a lot of grass surrounding it, so she's just trying to work out what to do. Obviously, as you approach this green, the left-hand side is favourable, but it's very well defended by a selection of 5 bunkers, 3 on the right, 2 on the left.
Iona, there seems to be a big tuft of grass just behind it. She's brushing at the moment with a club.
I think that's the problem, you know, she's wondering if she can get a clean strike. She's got a very wide stance, trying to remain stable, really chasing after it with her body.
Into the long grass again goes Lexi Thompson.
Big humpy fairway, huge humps and hollows, but you always found a nice flat lie right at the bottom of one, a good angle to the flag, 175, and a generously deep green with the flag at the back gives you plenty of landing area. A lot of people came up short this morning, but perhaps the green's dried out a little now.
A little bit unlucky there. It's a good shot, that. Just kicked through the back, but that'll be hopefully an easy 2-putt for her par. Now Coe, put it past her, but this is just a really good 2-putt and you'd be very happy. As Trish said, most putts are staying short today. And that is a really tricky par putt she's left herself. Now Marina Alex. This is for her birdie. Saw that lovely shot out of a divot. A little bit right to left. Oh, not quite. Good putt though.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? You've got to hit good putts. There's nothing you can do if you just if they're not going in, but it's the ones that you hit that you're up and out of them already, and they're the confidence killers.
Couldn't have placed this tee shot in a better spot. 145, looking down the little gap between the mounds. You can see the flag, the bottom of it. She's going to sneak a birdie out one of these good tee shots sometime or other.
"55 weeks ago, that's when she bowled that birdie putt at 18 at Woburn. Walked off as a major champion. There you go, eagle birdie. Crowd go wild.
Yeah, that would have been a big roar, wouldn't it, if we'd had a normal service, but she's pretty chuffed with it anyway. But that gets her just back in there again now, and she was struggling there for a while, so...
And I think we're seeing a rather more mature Danielle Kang, because this is what happened last week. Could have, you know, she was a couple over earlier on at the Ladies Scottish Open. She stuck to the task and came good and almost won it again.
Well, she looked like she was going to get in that playoff at one time, just missed out, but yeah, another solid week, like you said. Now, Lydia, come on, nice firm putt, she normally does, dead straight. Oof, seemed like she was aiming there.
Meanwhile, Lexi, still in the heavy stuff. Played an absolute... Oh, how unlucky was that? What a beautiful shot that was.
How did it not go in? It wasn't going that fast, was it?
No, it's unlucky.
Nobody's got to 2 under par yet. I think that's about to change. It's the 33-year-old Arizona-based Swede, Anna Nordqvist, who gets to 2 under par. She seems a very quiet person. You know, you've been in the Solheim atmosphere with her. Is that what she is like?
Yeah, there's two sorts of Swedes, aren't there? They're either really fiery or really quiet, and she comes into the quiet cat, like a lot of noise.
Undulating putt. Be a short putt for par coming up. Now Danielle Kang heading down the last. Also at 4 over, but confidence buoyed after the eagle and birdie in the last 2 holes. Shibuno. Oh, it's a very nice birdie putt at 15. And gets her back to 5 over.
It's just the one hole that's killed her so far. Really, the 8 is just a no-no, isn't it?
Back to 5 over, though. The reachable par 5 coming next. Co-leader, 14th tee, Nordqvist.
Not much can go wrong with that swing, can it, really? It's very, very simple. Her whole action is simple, isn't it, Lauren?
Absolutely, yeah. Tries to keep everything... It's kind of a short takeaway. Really punches down through it.
You notice how her lower body stays very still on the way back. Quite a short backswing. She's a very, very tall girl. Lovely rhythm.
Okay, it's not great with layers on, so she's been trying to work out how to pack for this week. Certainly making a nice fight of it down the stretch, and it's going to be another chance for the American coming home with some wind in her sails. Literally.
Yeah, I wonder whether Sunday will be looking back at this little spell with any significance from Danielle Kang.
Could well be. Right, now Marina Alex just back through the back of this 14th. So Nordquist run this one by. That looks... Oh, that's a good putt, very good putt.
So close to another one for Amy Olsen. That was to get to 3 under par from the 27-year-old.
She's been up there a lot lately, hasn't she, over the last sort of year or so?
Yeah.
Very solid.
Can't quite get the win, though.
Sometimes the majors, first-time winners often do it in a major, so maybe it's her week.
Well, Evian, a couple of years ago, it should have been her, shouldn't it? Remember, 72nd hole, leading.
Yeah.
Hadn't missed the fairway all day, missed the fairway at 18, made double bogey, and the player she's alongside at the top of the leaderboard ended up pipping her in the playoff, Anna Nordquist.
What a break for Ashley Buha. A ball rolled over the little bridge. It's about a yard wide, otherwise it'd have finished in the little stream. So a chance now to reach the green in 2 rather than dropping it out. I mean, the bridge isn't a pace wide. It just rolled straight across the centre of it.
Yeah, that's
Wasting no time, Shibuno.
Well, that's the one that Emily said she had a lovely shot in. I mean, Emily had a 9-iron in, but that has really released. Tough up and down now.
Still a consistent wind out there, Iona?
It is actually not, Richard. It's blowing harder than it was just a couple of minutes ago. So it's really just picked up. I thought it was settling down and we were coming into this beautiful part of the evening, but it's actually just picked up once again, so it persists.
Lumley's 20-footer. Birdie just into the wind. It's going to be a slow putt. Just a tad off her left. How many putts have we seen her whole of that length?
Probably in the last 10 years, she might be the best putter in the world, men's or women's. She really does roll it well.
Certainly the player of the decade in the women's game. 7 majors to her name, Inbee Park. One of them, of course, the AIG Women's Open of 2015. 6 over par. 2 under right now is leading the way. Hubby on the bag for the first time in a major.
Yes, another COVID thing. Her caddy couldn't come over.
Now, Lydia Ko try and shoot 72. But another one who's right up there, who knows what it takes to win a major. And she'd done it all in her teenage years, but just starting to see the renaissance of Lydia Ko. She's got Dave Jones on the bag there, who's usually the caddy for Sang-Hyun Park, but of course she hasn't travelled over, so she's had him on the bag for 2 weeks.
Yes, they're doing pretty well. Right, now Danielle, this would be some finish. And get her right back. That's one of those 3 overs we were just talking about. Not a bad day. 2-3 over. Good stuff. Could easily have spiraled out of control. 6, 7, 8 over.
Brilliant, brilliant. 7 over par, 3 holes left to play. Eagle, birdie, birdie. Danielle Kang puts herself right back into things with a round of 74.
Well, that's definitely the finish of the day, isn't it? Looked down and out with a few holes to play. Very impressive.
She looked like the world number 2, didn't she, coming down those closing holes?
She certainly does. I mean, she's just full of confidence. She's not a shy and retiring type anyway. But at the moment, she's definitely one of the very informed players.
For par for Anna Nordqvist. No drop shot.
In this bristly rough, the ball's sort of nestled a bit. It was very difficult to get the club on the ball. Rough and about a couple of inches high, but it just settled into it.
Park with the driver on this iconic finishing hole, and the fairway is the premium here. 3 bunkers down the left. Not where you want to be, middle of the fairway, to set you up for a short iron in.
270 running.
She had her own event 2 weeks ago. It's usually played in December between the KLPGA players and the American-based Korean players, but had to do it a little bit differently this time round in B Park. So had the JLPGA players versus KLPGA players. So a little bit different under the circumstances, but she just loves playing host. It's a great event, I have to say. A lot of dancing on the first tee.
I'm serious.
You wouldn't think it.
We don't have to hit this.
Oh, go on, Lexi.
I don't know.
That a girl.
This is like a foreign.
I like this.
The caddy says drive. I think she says 4-iron.
Every other club in the bag.
That's a big difference, isn't it? If she really cranks the driver, she can get close to those bunkers, but I don't think she can quite reach them.
Anything between the flagstick and the sailboat top flag. Come on, hit me a good shot here.
Well, this is a bold play from Lexi. Fairway's where you want to be. I don't really see the need to take the driver, but she wants an aggressive finish, so that will be the way it is. There's a bunker down the right at 275, which she can fly. She has hit a drive 330 today.
Well, she flew at 270, and I think it's gone on a fair bit more.
I think the caddy got that right, didn't he?
It's the only play for her, really, because the 4-irons bring in all the bunkers into play, which is silly.
Caddy Benji Thompson, no relation. No.
Going back to Lexi there, at this stage of a round, you need a good caddy to step up, because that's a mental error Lexi's making there, and he knows the right club, and he's made her hit it. So
Sophia did pretty well, didn't she, for winging it on the front 9? 1 under par round of 70. Clubhouse leader as things stand right now. Anna Nordqvist. Alongside a spot right now. And so her approach to 15 just rolls through. Now Lexi, after that big drive down 18. Fabulous, really nice. Yeah, that puts the smile on the face, doesn't it? And that should be a closing birdie for Lexi Thompson. Back to 15 as we see the rain falling on the lens. Conditions really are not easing up. Hinako Shibuno, our defending champion, of course. back to the 18th green. Lexi, hopefully to finish off her round with a birdie.
Well, she's made mincemeat of this 18th hole. Huge drive, a little flick with a wedge. And this to finish with 77, which would match her playing partners.
That one, that was a good bold play off the tee and a lovely feel with that wedge.
Yeah, 5 shots went at 11 and 12 and 78. Disappointing day all round for this 3-ball. Founded in 1878, Royal Troon. That's how old the turf is here.
You're like an encyclopedia. You never cease to amaze me, Richard.
I wasn't around then, though.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just remembering.
But I mean, how good is it to be playing an AIG Women's Open here?
Amazing, yeah. You wouldn't have thought it, would you? 25 years ago, we'd have dreamed about coming to Royal Troon, and all the now Muirfield's on the list, which is even, well, not a better course, but it's surprising, and it's so great. The RNA have really got us a beautiful schedule coming up in the next 5 years.
Yeah, Carnoustie next on the roster. Marine Alex just coming up short, but she's having an excellent day. But no one's having a better day than Amy Olsen. This to get to 3 under. Yeah, you're knocking on the nose. She was second at the Australian Open as well earlier this year, and then she decided on the restart she changed 13 clubs in her bag to come back out.
Any reason for that? Manufacturers completely, or is that what
No,
she
I don't
did?
think so. No.
So strange.
6 over now for the defending champion Hinako Shibuno.
This is a really tricky one. Just 3 feet, the wind blowing the trousers. Stay still.
Yeah, so she was alongside Olsen. Now she finds herself a couple behind her. Mel Reid won the Helen Holm Trophy here twice at Royal Troon.
She could do with a birdie today, though. Yes, oh, very close.
First
Back
of the
to
day.
7 over.
Yeah, first she's had today.
Mel's making me think that it's pretty chilly out there. She's got a lot of clothes on there.
There's not much of her, though.
True.
Henderson out with the driver, this 18th fairway.
How about you end of the day, like...
Breeze straight behind, fairly generous fairway.
Just like the white thing.
Bunker on the right, 275 to reach it.
Super tough, yeah.
She's launched a few good long ones on this back 9 down breeze. And there's a seagull sitting right in the middle of the fairway, might get her scared.
Right of the bunker?
A little bit of luck there. Finds the edge of the fairway now. Good angle back to that back left pin.
Decisions to be made off the tee, because you could take a club that doesn't reach that right bunker. Or you just give it a
I
good
can hit the 3. Yeah,
little 3-wood. I think if she pushes that, it'll find the trap.
I like that.
3 bunkers down the left. So if you pull it down there, you're going to find one of those almost certainly, because there's not much gap between them. And as Laura says, if you can get it down this right side, it's a lot easier entry to that flag today with it sort of back left.
Ken, are you surprised she's not hitting driver here? Because
Well, you've kind of brought the bunker into play. It's either a prod with an iron or a 3-wood if it's pushed and gets in the Greg Norman bunker. Oh, it's come up short of it. Had a nice soft bounce, that's ideal. Now, Shabuna's looked a lot more content playing down the breeze than she was on the front line playing into the breeze, where she seemed to hit her irons a bit high and they popped up in the air.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Full position.
Seagulls ignoring it.
Yeah, he is there, isn't he, Ken? He's living dangerously.
I know.
So straight downwind. You know, she's got to pitch it on the front and just let it roll up. She's judged that to absolute perfection. Got a little bit of... Oh, hello. Hang on. Oh, no, just a little bit more.
Not much more.
Could have been expensive.
Well, Amy Olsen about.
Over to 18 at Royal Troon we go. Ashley Buhai.
Ashley's another one, because Ashley first came and played a pro tournament at 13. So I think we kind of think that Ash is, you know, a little bit older than she is, but I mean, she's played so much golf. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, Lydia Ko's the youngest to have won an LPGA Tour event, but Ashley Simon, she won on the Ladies European Tour at 17, 18, something like that.
She did. I think it was a tournament just outside Madrid, if I remember rightly. Was it all Barcelona? It was definitely in Spain.
I remember meeting Ash when she was 14 years old and one of the best players in the world even then, real prodigy. Beautiful angle here for Brooke Henderson. Ball just slightly above her feet, should help her work it in just a tad. Take that big first bounce.